How we doing? I don't even know if anyone's here. Hey, hey, we're live on YouTube for the first time, and we're going to be doing a tequila tasting as well as a Q&A. So any questions that you guys have, throw them in the comments below, and we're going to start answering them. We're going to taste through El Tesoro and Tequila Ocho. Hey, Rafael Charavia. Well, hello. Well, hello there, my friend. Casey Metallic. Yo. Yo, man. How you doing? Manuel Rondon. Hey, Luis. Hi there. How are you? I do have questions. Well, throw them in, buddy. Thoughts on Cascahuin? For those of you who don't know, I'm also live on TikTok. Shh, don't tell anyone. Thoughts on Cascahuin? I love Cascahuin. I have not found it here in Mass, but when I had some in Tulum in Mexico earlier this year, incredible. Really, really enjoy it. One of my favorites. Ozzy C. Sup, bro? What's up, man? How we doing? Steven Sweeney. Hey, Louis. Enjoy your knowledge and videos. Thank you so much, my friend. What'd you guys think of the latest video? I posted it yesterday. I would love to hear some feedback in here. But throw in some questions in the comments. We're going to go through and we're going to talk about tequila and whatever questions you guys have. We can talk about cocktails, myself, whatever it is that you guys have in mind, and we can do that. I'll probably be live until about 4 o'clock, roughly. So here in Costa Rica, we don't get the majority of the brands you talk about, unfortunately. Oh, I'm sorry, man. That's tough. I know it's tough to get tequila sometimes, and it's tough to hear that in Costa Rica they don't have it. Ozzy, I have 2 of those bottles right there. Nice, man. Adonis, what's up? Who better than you right now? Probably a lot of people, but thank you. Tequila Ocho Reposado is incredible. Thank you. It really is. I love this thing. It's really great. What do you think about Espolón or Tierra Noble? I have a bottle of Espolón at home that I have not tasted in forever. And yeah, I have to go back to it to talk about it. Stephen Sweeney asks, why can't we get Fortaleza? This question is a great question. Let me grab a bottle of Fortaleza and we can talk about it, and then we'll get back to this. It's a very fascinating question. And actually, I'm going to do a rapid fire version of the answer, but I actually have an entire video on my YouTube channel that I did with Rob, who's the Tequila Collective, talking about that. I saw a quick question. What is the best tequila under $35? I personally really love Cimarron. Cimarron is 20 bucks for a liter, and it's what I use at my bar and restaurant every single day for house cocktails and for other tequila cocktails. What do you think of Tequilano Añejo? Tequilano, everything is amazing. I love Tequilano. I love Tequilano so much that even their misto, which is not 100% agave, is incredible for margaritas, and it's very cost effective. Some people are going to argue and tell you, well, it's not 100% agave. Well, their misto is additive free and really tasty. It just means that they use alcohol from other kinds of, it doesn't come from agave, which is okay sometimes. But yeah, so the question was, why can't you find Fortaleza? Well, I'm going to give you guys the super quick, very, very quick answer to this. They have a tiny distillery on a tiny farm, and they are already operating 6 days a week at 24 hours a day with 3 shifts. So they have a morning shift, an afternoon shift, and a night shift. They are constantly trying to pump out as much tequila as possible without cutting corners and without losing quality. So they are really trying their absolute best to be able to meet the demand. But the problem is that they're just a small distillery. They cannot keep up with demand. So unfortunately, like, there just is a limit. It's not like they're not like Blanton's that are trying to, in my opinion, artificially create demand by limiting production. They're not limiting production. They are just at capacity. And so I was speaking with Guillermo, who founded the brand back in July when I was with him in New Orleans, and they have plans to expand and to do other things, but that's going to take a while. But there should be more Fortaleza available now than there has been in a while. It's something that they're working on, but it's tough. It's really tough. What's your perfect margarita ratio, and what could I use as a good sub for Cointreau? I have an entire video on the best tequilas for margaritas, and in that same video, I have my recipe for margaritas. So I would say check that out. Do you know if Lalo is releasing a Repo and Añejo? As far as I know, Lalo is only sticking with Blancos. That is something that I have heard, that Lalo is only making a Blanco, and they're doing it out of choice. They want to make sure that their tequila is really what's standing out, and so their Blanco is what they're focusing on. So someone asks, what's up, Louis? Watch your video on the cocktail competition. The mate drinks looks good. Thanks, my friend. I'm really happy you enjoyed it. So if any of you guys haven't seen, I posted a video yesterday on a cocktail competition that I participated in yesterday. or not, I didn't participate in yesterday. I posted the video yesterday, and it is one of my favorite videos I've ever made. And if you guys have not watched it, go on. I just posted it on TikTok today as well, so you can watch it there too. But it's on YouTube. Go and give it a watch. It's one of my favorite videos. If I've ever made a piece of content that you've enjoyed, go give it a watch. It means the world to me. I really poured my heart and soul into the editing of this video, and it's very different than what I normally put out. So go watch it. Let me know what you think. It would mean the world to me. What do you think about Casamigos Blanco? You must be new here. I'm not going to even entertain that question. Casamigos is horrible. It's all a bunch of I'm not gonna swear in fear of getting canceled. But come on. Bum 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 bum. Okay, what do we got here on YouTube? Just going through some questions. Sorry. Bum 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 bum. New celebrity tequila alert. Have you heard of Tequila Pantalones made at Cascanes Distillery? Total Wine and More rep trying to sell me on it. A bunch of asterisks. So, I saw Tequila Jay's video about it today, and someone asked me the other day, have you tried Tequila Pantalones? I'm like, are you kidding me? They made a tequila called Tequila Pants. And then I found out it's Matthew McConaughey, and that makes me very upset because I like Matthew McConaughey. I think he's a great actor. He was in one of my favorite movies of all time and has one of my favorite lines from that movie, which was Dazed and Confused. And I'm really upset that he is stooping as low to making his own tequila. Now, I haven't tried it. I'm gonna hold off on, judging it too harshly because it is made at the same distillery as Cascanes, and I love Cascanes, but it's interesting that he's doing that. Apparently, him and his wife. So, thoughts on Suerte? Suerte is a really incredible budget option tequila. I do like it. I think it's great. Good option, about $35-40 for a bottle. I do enjoy it. Do you have a favorite mezcal or raicilla? I do. It's right above me, right up there. It is right there. So you have Real Minero and Origen Raiz are two incredible ones that I love. I would grab it. I'll grab it. Just if I fall to my death, don't laugh at me, please. So these are probably my two favorite bottles of mezcal. And what's funny is that you actually won't see the word mezcal on the Real Minero bottle at all anymore because they kind of got into a feud with the CRT, so they don't use the word mezcal, but it is a mezcal. It is made in it's clay pot distilled. So from what I was told, that they could make basically two batches of it before the clay pots break. So it's very, very limited in how much they can produce in a year, but very, very fascinating as well. And then you have Origen Raiz, which is made on conservation land, where they harvest their agave. It's wild agave, so it's not farmed agave, and it's in a conservation. And so they are only allowed to harvest 10% of all of the agave on their land a year to be able to maintain their conservation status. And so these are two of my favorite mezcals. I think they're excellent. I'm gonna grab a water, friends, because oh, it's right here actually. Just kidding. Oh, it's empty. Please forgive me. I'm gonna run and grab a water. I will be right back. All right, I am back. Hopefully most of you guys did not leave. A lot of you guys left. I'm sorry. But I just needed a water. I've had a long day. I've been filming a lot of stuff today. Andrew Hayes, would you ever host a tasting at your restaurant? Yes, stay tuned. I actually am going to be hosting a tasting at my restaurant. Hopefully soon. Probably going to be ticketed just because I'm assuming the demand is going to be high. So we're going to probably do it on like a Wednesday or a Thursday. So if you're in Massachusetts, make sure that you are following along on my Instagram or on make sure you're following me on Instagram, and it's probably where I'm going to be posting it. You're gone, taking your bottles. Please come on in if you can get to my restaurant. What are some mixers you'd recommend? I don't believe in pre-made mixes. I'm a bartender. I'm a craft cocktail bartender. I make my own cocktails. That's how I feel about it. Esperanto tequila, your thoughts? I've never heard of it. And people spamming the same name of tequila in the comments, I hear it, but I'm not going to, just because you keep spamming it, I'm not going to answer it. It's like, I don't have answers to some of it, and it's like, come on, I'm trying to talk about other things. I'll maybe ask good questions, better questions, rather than, what do you think about this tequila? What do you think about this tequila? What do you think about this tequila? What do you think about this? I post videos about tequila. every single day. If you want to suggest some, great. But we're live. Ask some cool stuff. Let's talk. Let's chill. Let's hang out. Let's have a good time. What do you think about Don Julio Crystallino? Ooh, I love this question. So see, I know I'm going back on what I just said, but this is a very specific reason why I'm answering this one. First of all, it starts with Don Julio. Don Julio sucks, point blank. I don't think their brand is good. I hate their brand. Long story short. Now, the reason why I'm answering this is that Crystallinos, I think, are also the biggest scam on the planet. Crystallino tequila is essentially what they do is they take a tequila, which takes 6 to 7 years for the agave to reach maturity before they can make the tequila. They then age it for another 6 months to 2 years, sometimes even 3 years if you're going to take an extra añejo Crystallino, and then they filter out all the good bits. So let me ask you a question. Why would you spend that much time making a tequila, then to age it to add more flavor, and then just to filter it to get rid of all the flavor, just so that a crap Blanco can be smooth to sip on because some people are scared of brown spirits? It's to me, it just seems like a really easy way to hide bad tequila. What are the names of the two mezcals you've shown? Real Minero and Origen Raiz. It's right there. Origen Raiz, Real Minero. Thoughts on Cha-Cha 51? I'm assuming you mean Cachaça 51. I don't like Cachaça 51. I think it's very industrial. There's way better cachaça out there that you can find in the US. I have a whole video coming out next week about my favorite cachaça brands. And I've also had post one about the Wow. You don't have to answer what's better, Belvedere, the clear, or the blue bottle. I don't drink vodka, friend, so neither. All right, what do we have over here? Belo Mezcal, abraços de Goiânia. Rafael, abraços aqui de Massachusetts. Everyone hit the like button for Louis' channel. Hey, listen to Ozzy. The guy's onto something. He's smart. From which town do you speak now, and what time is it there? I am in Marlborough, Massachusetts, and it's currently 3:20. Thanks for your clarification. You're very welcome. Your take on using añejos in cocktails. I think that there's a very great way to use añejos in cocktails, but you can't just sub it in like a Blanco. You can't just go, oh, cool, let me make a margarita with an añejo the way you would with the Blanco. So it takes a little bit of working. Like, for example, I love tequila old fashions. So I would use an añejo in a tequila old fashioned. Peter Acosta, please post a longer video of your El Tesoro event in New York. Dude, I would love to, but that day, for whatever reason, I only filmed things vertically. So for YouTube, it wouldn't really work. And so unfortunately, I messed up. I should have filmed both vertically and horizontally to be able to actually tell a better story with that event. Because I know that there's more that I could have talked about. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to keep you on the hook for that one. I do apologize. It was a great event, and I wish I could have. I wish my dumbass realized that I should have filmed it horizontally to be able to make a long form video too. That's just my dumb self. I didn't think about it. But it was a great event. It was an incredible event. Who the F uses an añejo in a cocktail? I do, buddy. If you don't like it, then leave. Downside to having your own bar. It's very time consuming, and while I love it, I would never want to do anything else. I love the restaurant industry. I love bartending. It's so time consuming. And maybe that's my own fault because I also decided to make content on top of all of this. So it's like, cool, man. Like, you already have not much time because you're running the restaurant day to day, and then I'm on top of it trying to make content. So it's very time consuming. It's, having to deal with a lot of the BS that comes up, like randomly, like, our grease trap is overflowing, or the guy who cleans our hood didn't show up, and stuff that I just have to deal with the BS of stuff all the time. But yeah, it's really fun overall though. Really fun overall. Was there one experience that launched you down the rabbit hole of becoming an agave enthusiast? Drinking. It's not really like a crazy secret. When I started discovering how incredible, like really well made mezcal and tequila is, it just really blew my mind. I'm a big spirits nerd, so I really love learning about how spirits are made, how they're different, what goes into making it, all of these different things. So I just really got wrapped up into the heritage. One of the things I love the most about any spirit is that every society or group of people on the planet has created their own alcohol without ever talking to one another. So like the Japanese have sake and like, you know, rum and all these things that came up without people really talking to one another before, you know, distillation was even a thing, like wine. And so I think that alcohol tells a story. And I think that the most important things about drinking, it's not about the actual drinking and getting drunk, it's about bringing people together and having a good time. And that to me is what makes me like any spirit, to be honest with you. What is your restaurant called? It is La Beredas Brazilian Barbecue and Bar. Let me get my menu. So as you can see here at the top, maybe it's backwards for you guys, sorry. But then I have all of my house cocktails. These are all original recipes of mine. And then we have food and drinks on the back. I did all the graphic design as well. What is your opinion on Código Rosa? Código is a decent brand. I don't hate it. It's additive free. It's pretty good. I just find it expensive. Is the Lot 150 Blanco Fortaleza worth it over the other block? Yeah, it is. I tried it live 2 days ago, and yeah, it's bomb. It's very good. It's very different. The agave fibers provide this really fascinating like variation in the tequila. It's so good. The Lot 150. I'll have a bottle. Maybe we'll taste it in a little bit, and we can do a side by side. Let's just go through some of these other comments, and then we'll see. Dude, there's see, look, this is the first time I gone live on YouTube, and I was like, dude, there's no way people are going to be interested on YouTube, right? Like, there's no way. And now there's comments just rolling through. Someone on TikTok asks, are you Brazilian? Yeah, I am Brazilian. I was born in Brazil, and I came to the States when I was 4. I got into good tequila because of you, so thank you. You're so welcome. What's the best tequila infusion you've made? So this isn't, this won't be the best, but this is one that I have currently. So this is I actually infused a whole margarita with pineapple and jalapeno. Maybe that's a little bit of a boring answer, but it's what I literally have in my fridge right now. And this is really tasty. I made it for a video that'll be coming out at this point, probably in a month, just because of how much is going into this video. It's probably one of the most ambitious videos that I've ever done. But yeah, so that's one of my favorites. Which tequila type is for sipping, shots, and mixing? They're all equally worth it for all of them. It's really up to personal taste and if they're good or not. Do you drink beer? Yes, I do. How's your craft beer selection at your bar? It's good. For whatever reason, a lot of my our guests don't love craft beer, so we try to have a good mix. But I do have some craft beers from Brazil, actually, which is super rare and super different from what I normally do. What type of tequila do you prefer for a first timer? I don't know how to answer that. Like, I don't know. Like, a good tequila. That's the best way of doing it, or teaching people about good tequila. So what I do at my bar and restaurant is I pour a little sip of a really great tequila and we talk through the flavors. So it's not about like one or the other. It's about just a good tequila, and then we talk about it. Tequila Ocho Blanco or Reposado for sipping straight, whatever you prefer. There's no, like, it's not, this isn't like whiskey. Like if you look at me like, oh, do you sip unaged whiskey? No, because it's disgusting. Tequila Blanco is amazing when well made. Tequila Reposado, when well made, is also amazing. So they're all very, very good. Ooh, this is 2 questions. I'm going to go over here. Subasa Ozora asks, what soccer team do you support in the Brazilian Serie A? Cruzeiro. They are from Minas Gerais. They were relegated for the first time in 2019, for the first time in like over 100 years. And they just came up to the first division this year. And they're kind of in the relegation battle, but also not. So it's okay. We're doing all right this year, I guess, as long as we stay up. Ronaldo Fenomeno, R9, the original Ronaldo, actually bought the team. So he's currently the owner, which is great because he used to play there when it's where he got his debut. Is the income you make off of YouTube worth the time and effort you put into making the videos? That's a great question. If I were to isolate how much money I just make on YouTube and try and quantify it that way, possibly not, because I've been putting content on this YouTube channel for 3 years now, and I think that any creator starting out, it's never going to be worth it starting out, just because it's so much work before you even get any penny coming in. But one of the reasons why I started making content is that it brings people into the restaurant. So even from the first year when I started making content, people would come in and go, oh my God, I watch your stuff on YouTube, even though it was like, I had like 1,000 subscribers at the time. So it's hard to quantify the money issue because, like, sure, what I get paid from YouTube AdSense, not that much. But when people come into the bar and restaurant because they follow me or because they watch me on some social media platform, then it's impossible to quantify. So my gut tells me yes. Are all mezcal smoky? No, some of them are very minerally. Some of them are very savory. Not all of them are super smoky. Have you ever been to the Fortaleza distillery? I have not. They're Guillermo's a little upset at me. He wants me to go down there as quickly as humanly possible, but it's been difficult. I don't have time. I run a restaurant, so it's hard. Suerte for a ranch water. Do you recommend it? I love Suerte in general, so yeah, I'd recommend it. Why is it called Fortaleza here and in Mexico it's called Los Abuelos? Ooh, great question. So, little history lesson on this brand. Fortaleza is a brand that was created by Guillermo Souza. Souza is also the name of a it's another tequila, and they were responsible for a lot of the innovations in tequila, and they've been making tequila since like the 1870s, 1860s. So it's a very historic brand and family. In the 1970s, or in every generation, they would basically pass it down from father to son, and every generation they had the Souza tequila. And then in the 70s, the patriarch of the family sold the brand, and Guillermo, who runs Fortaleza now, was very upset. It was his grandfather. He thought he was going to inherit the company one day. Didn't turn out to be the case. And then in 2000, but the family kept one small farm and one small distillery called La Fortaleza. And so time passes. Guillermo was a little bit older. 2004, he decides to refurbish that old distillery and starts to fire it up, clean it up, and he wants to start making tequila all over again. And so he created a brand called Los Abuelos in honor of his grandfathers and his forefathers and his ancestors who have been making tequila for, at this point, 150 years. And then they started selling it as Los Abuelos in Mexico, and then they went to go export it to the U.S. And in the U.S., there's a rum brand, which is a brand from Panama, I believe. It's called Ron Abuelo. And so they own a trademark over the word abuelo as it pertains to spirits in the United States. So Fortaleza Los Abuelos couldn't be Los Abuelos in the U.S., so they had to go with a different name. So they just named the tequila after their distillery. So what they did is, as a little bit of a FU to the US, if you peel off the label on the front of any Fortaleza bottle, you will see a screen printed logo of Los Abuelos on the back as like, oh, I can't use that name? Well, it's still going to be there and you're not going to know about it. So just a cute little Easter egg if you are curious. Andrew Hayes, driving home from work and saw the live, got so excited, had to join. Don't crash your car, please. Just don't die because you're watching me live. Just got really into tequila again from one of your tier videos. Cimarron is so good compared to dog shit I'm used to. Yeah, it is. I'm happy you listened. If you don't mind me asking, can I draw you? I don't know how to answer that. Sure, go for it. Hey man, what should a new tequila drinker try first? They should try good tequila first. There's no such thing as better between Blanco, Reposado, or Añejo. The only thing I can say to that is if you're super into aged whiskey, maybe try a Reposado because it's going to be a little bit more familiar to you. But I don't like answering that question because I think it's more important about drinking good tequila than it is about where to start. Start drinking good tequila and learn. That's kind of how I view it. Amazing fact, I learned at Fortaleza Distillery, there's a bunch of maturities that, depending on the provide a different effect on the open fermentation containers. Exactly. Of spirits, because every little element about the farm and the agriculture impacts what's happening with the end spirit. So that's a great example. What's the future of non-Mexico agave-based spirits? First of all, I'm not a fortune teller. I have no idea. I think it's cool because I think a lot of people are into agave, but I think that it's like, make it its own thing. Don't try to replicate tequila. If you're going to grow agave in, California, Texas, wherever it's being grown, make it different. Do something different. Don't try to just replicate what they do in Mexico. Like, that's just not going to work out. Best tequila on the market right now. Fortaleza is the original Souza. That's not exactly true. It's the same. There's connection there, but it's not the same tequila. Don't say that. It's certainly not the same profile or formula. I don't believe. I know he's trying to make it in an ancestral way, but I don't know. That's hard. The reason why I'm saying that is I think you're going to confuse people because they're going to think, oh, if Souza is as good as Fortaleza, I'll just go buy Souza. So I would not say that. Could you name 3 citrus forward tequilas? One right here. Favorite affordable añejo. I would say Tres Agaves. For about $30, you'll get a good añejo that's additive free. Do you have a guide or something for beginners to start tasting tequila? No, I have hundreds of videos on YouTube. What's your favorite tequila cocktail and your favorite mezcal cocktail? My favorite tequila cocktail is, I don't know. Let's skip that. My favorite mezcal cocktail is also my favorite cocktail of all time. It's the Naked and Famous. So, one of my absolute favorites of all time. Shepherd the Mailman. Hey, Luis, I live in Italy, and it's way easier to get Fortaleza than many of the alternative brands that you suggest. Dude, wild. I was in Florence in August, and they had every Fortaleza you could imagine, even the winter blend. I was baffled at how easy it was to get great tequila in Italy, which was mind-blowing to me. You just had to search a little bit. I just came from El Pandillo, so fire. Have you been? I've not been to El Pandillo. It's on my list of places to go. What's a great high-proof tequila? And also the Cascanes. Do you speak Spanish? Yes, I studied Spanish for 8 years in school. Not to mention my two best friends, one's Puerto Rican, one's Dominican. So I've spoken Spanish my entire life, as well as Portuguese. Love your channel, and I've always wanted to buy a bottle of Fortaleza. It's hard to find. Yeah, it is hard to find. Answering on my own, the high-proof question in my opinion, Tapatio 110. We don't have access to Tapatio, unfortunately. What's up with Fortaleza Lot 150? Why is it special? Basically, what they did is in the fermentation, they left the agave fibers in as it was fermenting. So you get this extra funky flavor, which is really tasty. Let's taste it. I'm going to grab a bottle of the 150. All right, so what we have here is I ripped off the little label by accident yesterday when I was doing a tasting. But for all of you paying attention, the one with the little black thingy, that's the Lot 150. And I'll even show you on the back here. It says Lot 150. And then this is the regular, this is Lot 149, or 148. Tu opinión sobre Flecha Azul. I did an entire video on it like a week and a half ago. Do you prefer sipping Blanco than Añejo? I do, yes. I think Blancos are much more fun to sip on than Añejos. I find that a lot of tequila producers, not all, and I think that some tequila producers make great Añejos. I find that a lot of them, they're just not as good as Blancos. And I think Blancos have more of a raw flavor to it. So we're going to pour out some of the regular Blanco. Peter Thomas, congrats on second place finish at the cocktail competition held by Amazoni Gin. Thank you, my friend. It was really fun to participate. If you guys haven't watched that video, go check it out. There's some really great nuggets in there, as well as some great original cocktails of mine that I show you how to make. So I would love it if you can go watch that video. It was I put my heart and soul into the editing, and I really think you guys would enjoy it. So we are going to sip the regular Blanco first. Right on the nose, very citrusy, a little spicy. You get that robust agave aroma. So lovely, so citrusy, good amount of spice, really tasty, excellent tequila. Oh my gosh. For those of you who have not found some, I'm not trying to rub it in, but it's really good. And then we're gonna taste the Lot 150 and talk about the differences. So on the nose, it's a little bit more muted in its like citrus aromas and like agave aromas, but it's still there. And then, so what's the difference in the taste? Oh, it's so good. So instead of those bright citrusy flavors, you still get some of it, but the main difference is that now it tastes just very vegetal, very earthy, very, how would I say? It's just like, it's more earthy, more vegetal, more grassy. It still has those great aromas, still has a great citrus element, and it's just different. And so what makes the Lot 150 different from the other lots is that it was the 150th time that they had turned on their original oven from like the 1920s, 1910s. And so it's kind of a celebratory one. And so what they did is they, after pressing the agave, they kept the fibers in the vat while it was fermenting to create a different flavor. What's your bartender's handshake of choice? Fernet. I love Fernet. What you think about sotol? I love sotol. I think sotol is great. Very grassy, uh, really tasty. How many different tequilas do you carry in your bar? That's a good question. So if you've seen my video where I tasted 30 different, someone asked the question, is a shot of Fortaleza at your restaurant more expensive than other tequila shots you have available? No. The Blanco, I charge 15 bucks for a shot. I'm not here to price gouge. I want people to try good tequila and good spirit. So I'm not trying to make as much money as possible. I'm not one of those people who are like trying to charge out the wazoo for a shot. So someone asked the question, how many different tequilas do you carry in your bar? If you watch my video on where I tasted 30 plus tequilas, I think I have maybe at this point on my back bar, it'd be hard to see, but I think I have about 50 to 55 different types of tequila. Where is your restaurant located? My restaurant is located in Marlborough, Massachusetts, about 35 minutes outside of Boston. Have you tried Spanish aguardiente versus Latin American aguardiente? If you mean like Colombian aguardiente versus like I don't really know what your question is, so I'm not sure. Any plans on a marathon mezcal tasting? Do you want me to die? Does your family work in the restaurant with you? My mother is my partner. We work very closely together. At one point, my sister was our other partner, but she exited because she has a whole other career. She's the VP of a very large company, so she had other things to deal with. So we totally understand. But yeah, why do Brazilians and Argentinians dislike each other? Fuck Argentinians, man. For lots of reasons, probably just cultural, soccer related. The only things I like from Argentina are wine and chimichurri. That's it. Just kidding. I want to check out Buenos Aires so bad. Buenos Aires is on my list of places to visit. I've heard amazing things, and I really want to go to Argentina. Where's your restaurant? I've answered this a million times, but I'm gonna keep answering. It's Marlborough, Massachusetts, just outside of Boston, like 35 minutes outside of Boston. Tips for finding some in Mass. If you're looking for Fortaleza in Massachusetts, Bin Ends in Needham has it sometimes. Yeah. Love the Naked and Famous. What mezcal do you prefer in it, and have you tried any other aperitivos than Aperol in it? I try not to mess with Joaquin Simo's original recipe, so I like to make mine the exact way that he did, with the Del Maguey, Chichicapa, Aperol, Yellow Chartreuse, and the lime. So I try not to do that. Do you offer a tequila flight at your bar? I could. I have little flight glasses and flight things. And yeah, I'd probably do 4 tequila things in my bar. Abyss Leaper. Okay, I will have to stop by your restaurant. I was in Westboro a few months back, and we'll be there again soon. Yeah, dude, Westboro is right up the street. Do you ever get Revolutionary War reenactment people coming in? I don't know what you mean by that. No. If you go to Buenos Aires, you have to go to a Boca or a River Plate game. I would love nothing more than to go to La Bombonera. It's like on my like big what's it called, bucket list items. Like I would love nothing more than to go to La Bombonera. The place looks like it's falling apart, but it's like the vibes, dude. Like I can't get enough of it. I would love to go. How long have you had your restaurant? We just entered our 5th year, so we celebrated 4 years back in August. Cimarron or arete for reposado? Depends what you want to do. The Cimarron is more robust and more of an agave flavor. The arete is a little bit smoother, so it just depends. Is the Fortaleza Winter Blend worth grabbing at $400? I don't think any bottle is worth $400, but that's me. If you have $400 and you want to spend it, I think there's very few tequilas that are better than the Fortaleza Winter Blend. I just don't think you should pay for it $400. I actually just got a text from my rep saying that he has some allocated for me at a normal price, so we'll see. So let's go back over to TikTok here and answer some questions. Take a shot. I have to work, so probably not. Probably will not be doing that. Saludos from San Diego. Love your reviews, brother. Cheers, friend. Love San Diego. One of my favorite places in all of America. Truthfully, love San Diego. I need to get back. I have really great friends who live there that I haven't seen. We haven't visited them in a while, so I do need to get back to San Diego. As a Brazilian, how did you get into tequila? Well, I like all spirits, but my bar and restaurant, we focus on South and Latin American spirits. And the entire goal was to always focus and talk about that. And then I discovered this book, Spirits of Latin America by Ivy Mix, and it was eye-opening for me. When I was opening my bar, there's not many bars that focus on South Latin American spirits, at least ones that are very vocal about it. And so I really wanted to get some inspiration, some insights, better cocktail recipes of how to really be able to do this. And so Spirits of Latin America by Ivy Mix. So she owns a Latin American spirits bar in Brooklyn called Leyenda. And so I bought this book. As you can see, my copy is literally falling apart. It's like tearing everywhere. So I use this all the time. So I started reading about it, started following, and this started to open my eyes about the how incredible making agave is. And I started to really just enjoy it from there. And I think that the heritage behind it is awesome. And then I got to meet people like Guillermo, who's the founder of Fortaleza, and just talking to him and hearing about what it means to his family and just like the generations of tequila makers it's really awesome. So that's what made me fall in love with it. Plus, it's awesome to drink, and I really think it's amazing. So, all right, friends. Unfortunately, I am running out of time. We are going to be opening up at 5, and my bartenders are arriving soon. So, we are probably going to wrap up in the next 7 minutes at 3:50, just because I have to clean up my bar so that my bartenders can actually get to work. Thoughts on Crystallino's tequilas? I think Crystallino tequilas are the biggest scam in tequilas today, outside of additive filled tequilas. My wife's family's from Peru. Appreciate your clip on the history of Pisco and the Pisco Sour. You're very welcome, friends. Love it. Happy you liked it. Thanks, Lou. You're the man. I'm not leaving yet, friends. We got another 6 minutes. So ask some more questions. Let's enjoy this a little bit more, and then I'll hopefully be going live tomorrow. Maybe not tomorrow, but probably Monday. I've been going live every single day this week on TikTok so far, so kept the streak going. Can you explain a bit more about that? I'm not familiar with Crystallinos. Okay, so tequila, agave, takes 6 to 7 years to reach full maturity. They then harvest it, they cook it, they distill it. So you're already in 7 years before you can make a tequila. Great. Now, you then take that tequila, you put it into a barrel, and you age it. So you're spending even more time imparting even more flavors. And then all of a sudden, cool, you spent 9 years at this point to make a bottle. To make a Crystallino, you know what they do? They then go and charcoal filter it. So they get rid of all the good bits. They just filter it out so that they can sell you something way more expensive, even though it doesn't taste like what it should. In my opinion, there's nothing good about Crystallino tequilas that you can't get from regular tequila, a Repo, an Añejo, anything like that. All it is an excuse for people who are terrified of brown spirits to have an excuse to drink tequila. And usually most brands are using it to sell you crap that's just smooth. I just had Cimarron Reposado. It was great. Happy to hear that. Is your name Pfizer because you made my heart stop? Okay, that was funny. What is the name of the chimarrão machi that you use in the competition? I just buy a brand at the Brazilian market that's actually right in front of my restaurant. I forget the name of it. I threw out the bag. It's on the video if you zoom in. I don't recall the name of it. No burn tequila, a good tequila, one that's not made with crap. So any of the ones I recommend. All right, friends, if we don't have any more interesting questions, I will be wrapping up because I have to clean up my bar. So thank you for joining me. If you're on YouTube, I love this. This has been the first time I've been live on YouTube, and you guys have been killing it with the questions. I'm sorry if I didn't get to your question. And I hopefully will be back on Monday, maybe tomorrow. I don't want to commit to tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be live tomorrow. But thank you guys for joining. If you have any ideas, put it in the comments for a live that you want to see. I love this Q&A kind of thing, but maybe we can do a more interesting live. I was thinking about doing like you guys help me build a cocktail, and then like you guys just start putting it in the comments like what ingredient you want, and then we'll see if we can make a good cocktail by committee, which I doubt will be good, but maybe next week we'll do that. Probably on Monday or Tuesday, we'll make a cocktail by committee, and then everybody will just throw ideas into the comments, and then we'll go from there. What do you think about Don Julio? Don Julio is awful. Everything about Don Julio is terrible. Anyway, you guys have a great rest of your Thursday. Peace out. See you soon.